here's your quote, and you picked a quote that's, I think, more about identity. Quote, "I realize no matter how much I try, I will never be fully American, nor will I be fully Mexican." Why did that stand out to you?
You know how it is growing up Mexican-American here in the States and being part of two cultures, but also feeling like you're not fully accepted in those two cultures. You're not fully Mexican and you're not fully American. It's a lonely place to be. And when you talk about identity with these players and the love they can feel for two different countries and their cultures, it's a complex issue that most people won't understand unless you're a dual national. And this doesn't just talk about Mexican Americans. This is all kinds of dual nationals that deal with these identity issues. It's a lonely place to be. It's about feeling accepted no matter what your choice is. This tells me that it was more of a business decision. He's telling you of the love and appreciation and also how scared he is of both cultures. So it comes down to business. It comes down to what's best for him in the long run. Because ultimately, his heart is telling him that he feels good in both places, but maybe more here now.
I'm fascinated to hear you talk about identity, but I think you're talking a lot about personal identity, right? And so as a Mexican-American, that's fluid, right? As anybody who's a dual national, that's fluid. If you're hanging out with your Mexican family at a quinceañera and everybody's speaking Spanish and you're drinking whatever, Tecate Pacifico, you might feel very Mexican in that moment. If you're with your English-speaking friends and you're at a 4th of July barbecue pounding Budweisers, you're probably going to feel American, very American in that moment. That's fluid. I don't know how much that plays a part in the soccer decision. I think the type of identity that isn't as fluid, strangely enough, and that does play into David Ochoa's decision is a sporting identity. When you read this article, you see that he absolutely identifies as a Mexican soccer player and as a Mexican soccer fan. And while it's, I think, sad for the U.S. to lose this player, if I'm somebody at, for instance, U.S. soccer, I'm saying, okay, I can't influence a player's personal identity, but through results, through better work, we can influence the next generation of kids' sporting identity, right? If you're a 17, 18-year-old Mexican-American right now, the last time you saw the U.S. in a World Cup, you were in elementary school. You're not going to be a fan of the U.S. team. You're not going to identify as an American soccer player. This kid said he was watching Chivas as a kid. He was watching the Mexican national team. And actually, one of the funniest things in this article is he's how excited he is to see Héctor Herrera following him on Instagram. He talks about the guys who were his heroes becoming his teammates. I think that identity does play a role. I don't know how connected sporting identity, though, is to personal identity.
Intertwined, especially in this.
But nuanced, but different, right?
It's very difficult to separate it when we're talking about being a patriot. When we're talking about representing flags.
Well, I don't think it's patriot. I think it's about being a fan, dude. It's about being a fan. That's what it is. Take out the patriotism. Take all that stuff. Just about who do you support? Who do you like? Who have you grown up rooting for? Can I show you the quote that I pulled from the Players Tribune letter from David Ochoa? Because this is in response to the fact that he didn't play in the Nations League, and then probably what hurt him more, not playing in the friendly after the Nations League when they faced off against Costa Rica in Salt Lake City, where obviously he plays for RSL. Quote, "I'm not going to lie about it. I was frustrated. I was angry. I felt like they didn't really believe in me. So when Mexico invited me to a training camp before the Gold Cup, I felt like I had been given the green light to say yes." Just real quick there, I felt like they didn't really believe in me. I mean, I'm sorry. That doesn't add up. You got called into the Nations League, and this kid was given the Olympic qualifying tournament. That's not insignificant. Had they done the job there, he might have been in the Olympics for the United States. I don't see a shortage of opportunity for David Ochoa in the short term there that he can really cling to. The other thing is that this is a huge decision. And when you read that quote to me, it sounds like it was a decision made at least partially out of frustration and anger. And that would worry me if I was in the surrounding, el entorno of Ochoa. You don't make good decisions when you're frustrated, when you're angry.
No, let's be honest, he's 20 years old. It's reached a pettiness and immaturity, but how many of us weren't that at 20 years old? And it's a reality, so it's about who you have around you, who you have to guide you, the decisions you make. But you're right, all of a sudden, if it's emotional and if it's a business decision, the writing's on the wall of why he wants to make the decision. You're looking at one way, you've got Zach Steffen and Ethan Horvath, both 26 years old. Matt Turner, 27.
And that's really at the end of the day, kind of all he needed to put in this, right? And everybody would have got it.
He doesn't owe anybody an explanation.
Show the depth chart and show their ages.
If you have equal, as a dual national, as somebody who lives in a dual culture, you can have equal love and respect for both. All you have to say is, this is where I want to go, and that would have been suffice.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.